Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hit Cricket, your source for cricket analysis, commentary, and fun. I'm your host, Sean, joined by three cricket fanatics, Rahul Nanesh and Dhruvan, one big New Zealand fan. You might be confused given that he's an Indian, but he is a New Zealand fan, and we're very excited to talk about the Kiwis today. They're in Group A alongside India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Uh, Arguably the weaker group of the two, but we'll see in the competition. New Zealand are captained by Mitch Santner, and it's a new era for the New Zealand pace attack with Tim Southee and Trent Boult gone, two legends of New Zealand. In comes Nathan Smith, Ben Sears, Matt Henry is still there. We'll see what these guys think of that pace attack now, but their batting is stacked as always. Although Rachin Ravindra, uh, there could be some fitness concerns given that he took that big laceration to the head the other day against or during the Tri Series. So yeah, there's that concern. Oh yeah, and the fitness of Lockie Ferguson, uh, who's been playing good cricket recently. So we'll see about that for New Zealand. But yeah, what do you guys think of the squad the Kiwis put together?
We'll
Yeah,
let New Zealand go first.
yeah.
No, actually, I want Rahul to go first. Go ahead, Rahul.
Me first?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I think it's a good squad that they've put together, given the lack of Southee and Bolt. I think they've done a really good job with uh assembling a pace attack with youngsters. And I really rate this Will O'Rourke guy really highly. I mean, he's tall and brings a lot of good like steep bounce, and he can bowl at good pace. So I rate this guy really highly. And Matt Henry, we know how troubling he's been for the Indian side specifically. And it feels like they can just play him and bring him to every ICC tournament just to beat India. So that's the kind of you can just pick Matt Henry for that. And I mean, Lockie Ferguson has been an incumbent. He's been there for a while. So the pace stack itself, I think, looks pretty good. And I think the batting also looks pretty strong, in my opinion. Like Devon Conway is a mainstay in the side. Got Kane Williamson, absolute legend in the Fab Four, obviously. Rachin Ravindra, I know he has that injury, but I think he should be fine, good to go for the Champions Trophy. And he's such a talent. And on the Pakistan pitches, he'll definitely perform. And Daryl Mitchell has been outstanding for New Zealand in the ODI setup. His T20 credentials are a different story, but ODIs, he's been phenomenal. And, Glenn Phillips is one of the most devastating batters going around in cricket right now. So they've got that finishing touch they need as well. So and I think one of the most underrated batters in cricket right now is Will Young. I mean, he's performed for New Zealand consistently, but unfortunately got that much of a look in because of some of the legends that have been in that side. But I feel like now is his opportunity to shine. So I definitely think they have a really good mix of batters and bowlers, and not I didn't even mention the spin attack, like Mitchell Santner, what a legend. Probably one of the most underrated spinners going on in the world, and I'm interested to see how his captaincy era goes for New Zealand. But yeah, overall, I think the squad is a good mix of youth and experience.
I mean, yeah, I'll just finish up my points too before I give up to um Driven. But I mean, you said what I was gonna say in like clear picture again. Just I think Kane Williamson's return just gives a big boost to that batting lineup. Like his experience, his class. I mean, he's always Kane Mama, almost my favorite player. And then yes, you talked about Rachin Ravindra's injury during the warm-up match, but I'm seeing reports that he's already getting like back to training and all. So I think his availability will be the very crucial for New Zealand's team. But the only problem I see is that the absence of Trent Boult and Tim Southee will create more load or workload on Lockie Ferguson and Matt Henry, basically, because they are going to be leading that pace attack. But if they can manage the pressure and stuff, it'll be a good fast bowling unit that they'll be carrying with them. Uh, but I think if New Zealand has to qualify or something, Rachin Ravindra and Will O'Rourke, they're two youngsters, and their impact on that game is gonna like take or like make or break New Zealand series basically. But yes, you talked about Sandner's spin, and then yes, they have Mitchell Bracewell and all. But the thing is, usually the pitches in Karachi or Lahore, Pakistan, usually are not that spin friendly. Usually are just roads, so it's usually good for batting units, not like bowling units. But I mean, Sanders, of course, he is always a sensational bowler, no matter where he plays. But just it's that they're not playing in a bowler-friendly conditions, except when they travel to Dubai, of course. We don't know how the pitch is going to be in Dubai. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's
again,
smarter taking
they're-
2 spinners in Pakistan than taking 5 spinners in Dubai. Just saying.
So it's a good
uh,
point.
yeah, I mean, wait, I didn't get your question. Can you repeat that?
No. I was saying it's smarter to take 2 spinners in Pakistan, right? Than take 5 spinners in Dubai.
Yeah,
Yes, that's true.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
But yeah, again, finishing off my points, I think that if their middle order has to be consistent. That's the key here. Their middle order has to be, that's crucial for them to go anywhere in this tournament. So yeah, I mean that's my thoughts. Before I hand it off to Dhruvan, just wanna ask, this is Mitchell Santner's first ICC tournament as a captain. So as a New Zealand fan, how do you think he will do, Rachin? Dhruvan.
Dude, I mean, it's exciting. Like we know Mitchell Santner can captain, right? He's been working with Latham, he's been working with Kane, he's been working with the likes of he's been there since like Brandon McCallum days. He's very young, but he's been there. So I think that he has what it takes to be a captain. He has the leadership. Glenn Phillips and him are, they work very well together. I don't know who's gonna play wicketkeeper in this tournament. I'm assuming it's gonna be Devin Conway. But I think that him as captain was a great move, right? Kane Williamson had the guts to say, yeah, I think he should be captain, because I'm sure that Kane Williamson was offered the captaincy for this tournament, and he saw that if Mitchell Santner can do what he's been doing for their team, because I don't know if you guys seen it, but Mitchell Santner's been captaining a bunch of these tri-series and bilateral series across the world, and he's been doing really good. He's been doing a really good job. So I think it's very exciting. It's a very exciting new change. I don't know, because I don't know if he's had enough experience to be captain of the New Zealand of a cricket team. But I think it's a new and exciting change. I'm looking forward to it. But just jumping right into the team. Devin Conway, Latham, Kane, and Will Young. Fantastic. I mean, no doubts, no problems about it. I think Latham is losing his form. He's been losing form since the ODI World Cup. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but he's been losing form, and it's not been great to see. He's one of our best middle order batsmen, and he's just been out of form. But moving on to like Will Young, fantastic. We've seen him in the ODI World Cup. Yeah, he scored. He had a couple of great knocks in the ODI format. So hopefully he does the same thing, and especially on the pitches of Pakistan, it's just gonna be heaven for batters, right? So Devin Conway, Kane Williamson, no brainers. Then we move on to Rachin Ravindra. Yes, he did suffer a laceration on his head from an injury, and I think that injury is not too serious. The only serious part about it will be the concussion protocol, right? So I think he's been cleared to the concussion protocol, and if he's more than fit enough to play, there's no other physical dilemmas with him. So barring that little concussion debacle, he should be fine to play, and I think he's one of the most important players for our team. We've seen that, and you guys obviously remember when he made one of the most memorable World Cup experiences. Scoring a century as a debutant in the first game of the World Cup. So we know he can play the ODI format. He's been a little iffy in the T20s, but we know he can play the ODI, and that's what this tournament's about. So I have no doubts about Rachin Ravindra. Glenn Phillips coming off of a fantastic century. I don't know if you've seen the box score for that one. You definitely should check it out. Coming off a fantastic century, so he's back in form. Michael Bracewell, I don't know. I would categorize him more as a T20 player. More than
Do you
T20.
not remember that innings against India and Hyderabad?
Oh
He
yeah,
had
actually that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
This
Wait,
one,
Bracewell or
okay.
Chapman? Which one are you
I
referring?
think I said
Bracewell.
Mitchell Bracewell earlier. Sorry, I meant to say Michael Bracewell.
Michael
Sorry.
Bracewell. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're
Okay.
calling Michael Bracewell, Mitchell Bracewell. Just because Dhruvan's an Indian Kiwi, you're calling him Rachin. I mean, what is this, bro?
That's okay. That's all right. Well, I'm not. I might have gotten mistaken. But Michael Bracewell, I haven't seen him play too much, right? I've been out of the loop with New Zealand cricket for a minute, but now that it's time for the Champions Trophy, I've been watching it for the past couple of weeks. Nathan Smith, That's a new name, new face. I haven't seen him in a minute. I've heard very good things about him. He's a youngster, 26 years old. That's pretty good. We'll take that. And he can also bowl right arm medium fast. So that gives us another pace option. But I will tell you exactly why that right arm will hurt us in the tournament. Now getting onto the bowlers, right? We have Lockie, Matt Henry, Will O'Rourke, and Ben Sears. Fantastic. I have nothing wrong with it. Although my favorite player, my favorite New Zealand player of all time is Trent Boult. You know, I've probably mentioned it on this channel, but I really love Trent Boult. I think that he has the stamina to sustain himself in this tournament, but for some reason he's opted out. He's been playing some franchise tournaments all over the world, so that's up to him. I respect him, whatever. But
And
his
he's still
presence,
in really good form. I think man of the match in
he's in
the
fantastic
finals
form.
of the
The SA20,
South African
he got man of the match. So his form has not taken a dip, right? So I don't see the reason why Gary Steed has moved on. Maybe there might have been some disputes. I'm not sure behind the scenes, but
I think he just wants to
I
play shorter formats to extend his playing career.
yeah, and I fully understand that, but you know, whatever the reason may be, his presence will 100% be missed. I want to write it down right now. I think his presence will be missed because that left arm swing option, you're never gonna get that from any other bowler in New Zealand. I don't think you ever will. You can try to fabricate, you can try to produce a new bowler left arm swing. I just don't think he'll have the same impact as Trent Boult, and I know I'm you know going a little overboard on Trent Boult, but I think he deserves the praise. I really do. Right, so
Sure.
Tim Southee have been left out. Tim Southee did retire from Test, as we know. I just don't know if he called it quits on his ODI and his white ball career, but it seems like he did. It seems like New Zealand has moved on. So I think though that veteran duo will be missed. But the best thing they could have done was go to the other opposite direction and pick the youngest they could, and which is exactly what they did. Right, Ben Cedars, 26 years old. He's been on a ripper. He's been really good for New Zealand lately. And Will O'Rourke has also been really good for his domestic league in New Zealand, and he's also been really good for New Zealand. So I think the bowlers are fine. The bowlers are sound. The only thing we're missing is the left arm. We have no left arm pace, which I think might hurt us because that left arm right arm combo from Southee Boult or Southee Matt Henry, oh sorry, Boult Matt Henry and Boult Southee that we had in the World Cup. We're missing that. I just think that we should have that for the first 10 overs, first 15 overs and go from there. But the bowlers are sound bowlers. We have two youngsters. Sorry, we have three youngsters: Nathan Smith, Will O'Rourke, Ben Sears, trained by like working under Lockie Ferguson and Matt Henry. So no complaints in that department. But our all rounders, I'm very excited to see our all rounders because Mitchell Santner as our bowling all rounder. I'm very excited because Mitchell Santner, as we know, he can slog, right? He can hit a few when he needs to hit him. And then we have Glenn Phillips. I think there's not enough praise in this world for this man because I think he's the best fielder in the world right now. He can wicket keep, he can bat, and he can bowl. So we have the complete package in Glenn Phillips, right? It's
The
not
real
even the
3D player.
it's not even the ace up our sleeve. We're gonna show you our ace, and he's gonna play like an ace. That's the whole point of New Zealand. All right, so I'm extremely excited to see this team in action. I am. Right, I was a little sad when the news dropped that Trent Boult was not picked. Right, kind of broke my heart a little bit. I thought he had one more ICC tournament left in him, but I guess not. And I fully understand. You know, at some point they have to move on. You know, at some point they would retire and go from there. But I'm just glad he hasn't retired from cricket altogether. That's the day my heart's gonna break fully. So um, I think this is a fantastic team. This is a really strong team. So now do you guys want to do their starting 11s
Yeah,
real
go
quick?
ahead with your playing
Yeah.
eleven.
All right. I'll just kick it off. I think openers Ruchin Conway, no brainer, or Ruchin Will Young. Then we could have Kane Williamson at 3, Devin Conway and Mark Chapman at 4 and 5, Glenn Phillips to finish out our batting, Mitchell Santner, Nathan Smith, Will O'Rourke, and Matt Henry. Did I miss one?
I think he missed one.
Missed one. Okay, and then Ben Sears or Lockie. Depending on who's healthier, I would say Ben Sears. You know, Lockie has some health concerns right now, as we know. So if he can't play the first couple of games, because there's gonna be 3 games, right? It'll be each team plays everyone else in
Yeah.
the So 3 games, maybe try out Ben Sears at first, or try out Lockie, whichever one works best. But we go in with 3 to 4 pacers. Nathan Smith is a pacer, so we go in with 3 to 4 pacers. Depend on 2 all-rounding spin all-rounders. Go from there because we know Karachi's like not a spin heavy, right? Like it doesn't
Yeah.
depend on Like, I think we're gonna be playing in Karachi first. Yeah. So we go from there. I know it's gonna be a slog fest. It's gonna be a run fest. So we have to mitigate that as much as we can. That's the main goal here. Just try to
So
mitigate that.
just putting it out there, Dhruvan is saying that New Zealand can try out anything they want against Pakistan and get away with it.
Oh,
Right?
100%, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I wanna preface this. We're playing in Pakistan, but it feels like New Zealand have a home field advantage. If you've seen the tri series and the bilateral series that New Zealand plays, they play like they're playing at home. It's that they're playing to that level. But they've lost a couple.
I think it's
They're
more the hospitality of the host nation to give up the
honest.
game.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, go ahead, Raul. Give us
But
yours.
yeah, my playing I have similar personnel, but I have Devin Conway and Will Young opening because Rachin is more of like a number 3 or number 4 in ODI cricket, like in general. I think in the ODI World Cup he played at 3. So I have Conway and Young opening. Then I have Kane Williamson at 3, Rachin Ravindra at 4, Daryl Mitchell 5, Glenn Phillips 6, and then Mark Chapman 7 to round out my batting order.
Okay.
And I have Mitchell Santner, the captain, 8, and then the 3 pacers, Henry, Ferguson, and O'Rourke.
Okay.
So I just think this gives me a good balance of 3 seamers and also spin options, and Santner, Phillips, Rachin, and Chapman can contribute as well. So I have like 7 bowling options and also batting up to 8, and Henry can slog as well.
Right.
So I
Oh wait.
think you didn't have Chapman, right?
Yeah, I did have Chapman. I had Bracewell, I think.
Oh,
But let me ask you guys this. I want everyone's insight. Let's say New Zealand were to win the toss. Which way would you think? Should they bowl first? Should they bat first? In Karachi, I think we're playing first. So, what do you
I think
recommend?
I'd say they should bat first and be aggressive and just. I
So
mean,
try,
it's gonna be a road for
try
sure.
to-
Like
Yeah,
there's no way they prepare anything else other than highway order.
but we've seen
oh,
Pakistan chase a very high total in this
yeah, they
tri
chased
series.
355
Yeah,
recently, right? They chased
yeah.
I guess
355.
we'll know tomorrow because the Tri-Series Finals is happening and it's in the same venue, I'm pretty sure, as
Okay.
the opening
Oh,
game.
that'll
So,
be interesting.
but I honestly think chasing would not be a bad idea because Pakistan, when they're chasing 350, would have to go in that aggressive mindset. But I'm not sure if they play in that same mold if they're batting first. If they're
Right.
batting first, they'd probably take their time. Like Babar Azam's the kind of guy who'd take his time. Rizwan would take his time. Sachika would take his time. They wouldn't go from ball one. So I don't see them hitting that 360, 370 when batting first. I see them more hitting 280 to 320-ish. And I think New
Just
Zealand can definitely chase that down in a breeze. So I'd
Mhm.
win the toss and bowl first against a team like Pakistan, who's still in that more conservative approach in ODI cricket.
I see. Just a quick question: is Devon Conway back at wicket keeping?
I'm assuming so. It would either have to be him
Sorry,
or
I
Glenn.
didn't see the tri series, so
Yeah,
just
so
not sure.
Conway's my wicket keeper right now, but if
Yeah.
he can't keep, then
Yeah,
I'd probably
so
bring
my
in.
playing 11 is like I actually dropped Rachin because I'm not sure if Devon Conway is wicket keeping. I put Tom Latham as wicket keeper, but if Devon Conway is wicket keeping, then you could drop Tom Latham and then play Rachin at just like 4. Yeah,
Right.
like Rahul did. And then Rahul also I think played Chapman somewhere. But I have Michael Bracewell actually instead
Yeah.
of Chapman.
It's a
So
toss
that's
between those
those are
two.
two differences. And then of course, I mean, other than that, you won't have more spinners and just got Lockie, Matt Henry, and Ben Sears as my pacers. And yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. All
Because
right.
yeah, if you're looking for a more bowling all rounder who can bat, that's Bracewell. If you're looking at more of like a finisher who can give you a couple overs, that's Chapman. So I just went with Chapman because I have Rachin, Daryl Mitchell, and Phillips who can be my fifth bowling option. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's good enough for me. But I mean, Bracewell is definitely a good
I mean,
option
see,
with
my
Mitchell
my
later.
thing is if Rachin cannot play because of Devon Conway not wicket keeping, and then you have to get in Tom Latham, then you'll be
In
needing
that way, I'd get
Michael
Tom
Bracewell
Latham in for
somewhere.
Bracewell in year 11 then. I'd bring Tom Latham in for Chapman for me and Bracewell for you because I feel like Rachin is such an indispensable
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
that side.
You can't get rid of Rajat. I
I
mean,
wouldn't drop.
it's an you can't get rid of.
I mean, Bracewell is just like an extra bowling option that you have, right? I'd rather bring in Latham for the keeping there instead of tampering with Rachin. Because Rachin can give you
Okay.
those overs Bracewell gives you, or at least half of them.
Yeah, that's good. Sean, you're playing them?
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
think they'll qualify to semis,
yeah, I mean,
or where do you think they'll qualify?
yeah, playing 11 wise, it's pretty much the same as y'all's. Between Chapman and Bracewell, I would go with Bracewell just for that. Like Raul was saying, he's a bowling all rounder. He's bowled well in this tri series so far. Has picked up wicket and has picked up a wicket in each game he's played, and he's bowled very economically. So yeah, I'd go Bracewell there. And it is Pakistan, but still. And as for whether they can qualify, I absolutely think that they can. They're a very strong
Yeah.
team. I love their batting. Middle order is one of the strongest in the tournament for me. Just that versatility. And like you said, the ace up their sleeve in Glenn Phillips, he's performing immaculately right now. So, yeah, I really think New Zealand can get qualify from the group. And
Right.
it might be tough in the semis given the quality of teams in the other group, but I think they can make a push to the finals.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point. But the only thing that kind of irks me a little bit is that the Champions Trophy was supposed to be held by one nation, right? And due to some other circumstances, they had to accommodate another nation. So they did that. I fully understand. But the travel between these, because this is a very short tournament, right? It's not as long as the ODI World Cup, like 9 games per team, right? So we know that each of these teams will only play three games, and to travel between these games and having to do that, going to a different country, getting accommodated to different pitches in that little time, I just think that this could impact the overall performance, not just for New Zealand, for every team, right? In this group specifically, every team that has to go to a different country to play a specific team. I'm not gonna name the team, but it'll get named eventually. Not in this video, but they'll have to go to a different country to play with them. That's a different pitch. We know the UAE pitches are completely different, complete 180 from the Karachi and the Pakistan pitches, right? They're like sometimes they're very bowling dependent. So that change, that little transition could impact a lot, negative or positive, we don't know yet. So I just think that this is something that every team needs to watch out for. Like every team in this group needs to watch out for, even our post group, because I'm assuming the team that will be playing in the UAE will make it out of this group. So we don't know. I mean, we were not sure, but I just think that it's a little frustrating for most of these teams that they have to travel back and forth between these two countries.
yeah. I
But
mean, I agree with
I mean,
both of
even though
you.
we three are fans of that team who's playing in the UAE, we can't
yeah,
be like biased and say that it's not an unfair advantage. It
right.
is an unfair advantage because,
Yeah.
I mean, even in the semifinals or finals, the team who will be playing that team in the UAE will be the ones coming to UAE to play
Yeah,
those.
and
So,
then you
I
have
mean,
in.
that's
I mean,
yeah, that's
I'll just say you will have India just sitting in one location,
Exactly.
not needing to adapt to different
But
Traveling.
different
India will
stadiums.
make, yeah, India will make that their home field advantage, which kind of boom, gone. I mean, that kind of takes away from the teams that have fought to get there, right? So I just think that the team that should be unnamed, but it kind of ruins the sportsmanship of, I don't know, that's what I believe, but
Yeah, I think
that's
if they really wanted to shift, they should have just shifted the whole tournament instead of
Yeah.
just having one team
yeah,
sit in
right.
UAE and then rest of the teams. But yeah, I mean, I agree with all of y'all. I think given that New Zealand is placed in Group A, or other teams are like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and given their recent form, I think they have a strong chance of going to semifinal. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Uh, and then for future also, their opening matches I think is against Pakistan. So whatever like tone they set in that match, like however they play, I think
Mhm.
will lead them to future basically. Uh
Right.
maybe if everything goes well and the players perform and they can adapt to the conditions pretty quickly, New Zealand could be a contender for the title too.
Right. But here's
That's
the
my
yeah.
thing.
prediction.
They'll play their first 2 matches of the tournament in Pakistan, and then for the last match of their regular season, they would have to travel to UAE, which kind of ruins their mindset, right? Like they've been focused on the pitches here. They've been working on this. They've been working in this country for quite some time, and they play so many bilateral and tri series in Pakistan, so they know the pitches, they know the conditions. Hell, they know the home crowd. They know what this country has, what this country has to offer for them, right? To make New Zealand a viable option. But then having to travel all the way over to a different country, I just think that it's not fair. That's what I believe. I'm not saying that just because I'm a New Zealand fan. I've been in India fan for quite some time. I think it was 9 years ago I made the transition because I saw how New Zealand played, even like home conditions, away conditions. They played like it didn't matter, right? So I still
Baseball.
think, right. That's what I'm saying. So they're gonna play like it doesn't matter. They're gonna play like it's a home crowd, but I just think that it's a little biased. But yeah, to each their
But
own.
you talked about the Dubai thing, but you said New Zealand's first two games are in Pakistan. I think they have to make the semis. They're gonna have to ignore the India game in UAE and win the first 2 games, because if they win the first 2 games, they're basically
Right.
through to the semifinals. So I think if they want to make the semifinals, they're gonna have to win those first 2 games, because I don't see them beating India in UAE, especially with the quality of spinners India has over New Zealand.
Right.
So I think for semifinals, I think they'll definitely beat Pakistan and Bangladesh, and they'll cruise through to the semifinals.
Mhm.
If they come up against someone like South Africa in the semis in Pakistan, I think that'll be a tough contest. But any other team, I'd back them to beat in the semifinals.
Okay. Quick question: are the semifinals and the final played in Pakistan, or
It
Depends on if
depends.
India qualifies.
It depends. Whoever plays India would play in Dubai. Whoever doesn't play
Other
India,
team,
that
yeah.
semifinal is in Pakistan.
I feel like that influence that the ICT has on ICC is a little power hungry. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just a college student, man. I don't know. What do I know, right? Like, we're just being candid here, but who knows?
Asia.
But yeah,
Okay,
you think
there you
they're
go.
making semifinals?
Oh, me,
Yeah.
100%. New Zealand is gonna make it. I have them down to make it, right? They should win. Statistically, they should win the first 2 games. It's Pakistan and Bangladesh. So there's no obstacles in the road. Maybe there's an upset, not an upset, but like Pakistan could hold, a candle. But they lost a couple of players, right? They lost Saim Ayub, and like I think they lost
Yeah.
another one. Yeah. So Saim Ayub is a great batter. We know this. We've established this. He can hit. So I don't know. Taking some of those players out, even from the home crowd, like even from the home country, is gonna advantage. Like it poses an advantage for New Zealand. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to staying up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. local time to watch this game. So it should be fun. It should be fun.
Most definitely. I mean, New Zealand's just one of those teams that you gotta watch, especially for Dhruvan as a fan. But
Always punch above their weight too.
It's just one of the most interesting. Like they play good cricket. They play interesting cricket. There was never a boring match with New Zealand. That's all I'm saying. But yeah.
completely fair. All right, that should be it for our New Zealand preview, and we'll see you guys next time with the Australia preview. So take care, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.